it can get real complicated. And again, the way you uncomplicate it, if you truly believe God has already given you this information. Hello everyone, and welcome back to A Purposeful Pursuit. I'm Crystal, and I know I'm in a different setting than I normally am, but I just felt like switched it up a little bit. I've had a lot going on, you guys, but that's gonna be another conversation for another video. Today we are here to talk about what to do when God tells you who your spouse is. I've had so many comments where people are saying, like, you know, God showed me who my spouse was. I saw them. Maybe they saw them in a dream, or they saw this person in real life. They said they saw their name, everything, like they met this person. God said, this is the one. Or like I said, maybe it was in a dream at another time. You saw their face, you heard their name, you know where they live, all of this stuff. You're like, I know exactly who it is. God told me. I want to talk about what to do when that happens in this video, okay? If you like to get relationship advice, make sure that you hit that subscribe button, because here on A Purposeful Pursuit, I'm all about helping you meet and marry the one sooner. If you do not know, my husband and I met, got engaged, and married all in 9 months. We are going to be 8 years in this June, and we are happier than ever. So like I said, hit that subscribe button. Let's jump into today's video. Woo! So, this is the very first thing that you should do when you identify someone as being the person that God is saying that you are going to marry. You know their name, you know what they look like, you know where they live. Like, you're like, I know who this person is. The first thing you need to do is realize that free will is always a thing. Just because you heard something from God, honestly, the other person may have heard the exact same thing, but what you decide to do with what you heard God say is up to you. Just like for them, what they choose to do with what they heard God say is going to be up to them. Like, you cannot force people into anything. So the very first thing that I'm going to say is realize that free will is still a thing. And do not see it as this is the only person that you could end up marrying. Realize that God is showing you an option. Like, God is showing you this could be the person that you could marry. This is an option for you. And I talk about in other videos how I feel about the whole, oh, there's only one person on the planet for everybody thing. Like, it's illogical. It doesn't work that way. All it would take is one person to mess it up for everybody. You can go to those other videos to see more about that. And maybe I'll do an updated video where I just literally talk about that topic. But first things first, realize that God is showing you someone that is an option. And so that's cool. That's awesome that you've met this person, or you've seen this dream, or wherever, however you came about this information. You know now that you believe God is saying this person is a person that you can marry. It's a person that you can marry. This person is an option. None of us have the power to override free will. That's a really big thing for God. And so just know this person is an option, and that's awesome. But see it as that. Number two, do not say anything. I know it is really tempting to go up to somebody and be like, you are the person that I am going to marry, and you're gonna see, like, we're complete strangers right now, but we're gonna be in love and happy 10 years from now, married. Like, that's really creepy. Like, if they did not hear the same thing, then that's probably going to throw them off, and they may go from being an option to totally off the table. Like, I cannot tell you how many people I know that have had individuals come up to them and say, God said you're gonna be my wife. Like, 5 different guys saying that to the same girls. People said that to me, and I'm not married to them. Like, other people than my husband Ricky said that to me, and obviously I'm not married to them. And again, that's because these are options. But again, one of the things that threw me off the most when guys would come and say that to me is like, God didn't say nothing to me like that. So why are you over here saying something to me like that? Like, do not say anything. Don't say anything. And you're thinking, well, how will they know? God will tell them. Just like God told you, he can tell them. Wait and allow a relationship to build, a friendship, and then even beyond a friendship, Allow a mutual liking of each other as more than friends to build before you reveal this information. Don't just start off telling people, hey, you're gonna be my husband. Hey, you're gonna be my wife. They don't know your first name. Like, get to know people first. Still conduct yourself in a way that's like a regular type relationship. Again, this is an option. And just like it's an option for you, it's an option for them. They still get to choose. And you don't want to make people feel like you're taking away their ability to choose, or even their ability to hear from God clearly about who their spouse should be, because you're dictating information to them. You want the person you marry to hear it from God for themselves, because you don't want to get into challenging situations, which I have seen, which is really unfortunate, but you don't want to get into challenging situations later down the line and the person starts throwing it at you and they're like, well, you're the one that said God said we were supposed to be married. I never even hear that. And it's like, wait, what? Like, you got married to somebody based on because they said, not because you heard God say something to you. But then once you've already presented that information, things can become really skewed. So allow a natural relationship to build. Just because you have this information up front doesn't mean you say anything. God told me in the very first conversation that I had with Ricky, the first day that we met, he said, this is going to be your husband. I didn't tell him. I didn't say anything to him. 2 weeks later, Ricky and I were hanging out, just spending some time together. I think we were working on an assignment. We were on the rooftop at my apartment in Atlanta, and he was like, you know what? We had been having really good conversations just about life and stuff. And he's like, I need to tell you something. And I was like, what? And he was like, God said that you're going to be my wife. And I was like, yeah, I already knew that. Like, God already told me that the first day that we met. And so even then, when you're thinking about, well, when do I let this person know? God will let you know when you have that release to say it to that person after a time that he's already had a chance to talk to them. And so again, just don't just run off saying anything. Don't say anything. Like, wait. Number 3, allow God to confirm what he said. I did not, again, immediately go and tell Ricky, hey, you're gonna be my husband. Like, I allowed God to say what he said. I said, okay, God, I hear what you're saying. And then he continued to confirm it to me in various ways, through actions that Ricky would take, through continuing to show and reveal to me that he was exactly what I had been praying for. He allowed me to have God allowed me to have time to just talk to. I have a mentor in my life, and so I talked to my mentor. I was like, hey, this is what I'm seeing. I feel like this is what God is saying. Like, can you pray with me concerning this? I did not go pray with Ricky about it. I went and I prayed with my mentor about it. I knew she's unbiased. I knew she's not going to be trying to force the situation. Like, she genuinely just wants what's best for me and wants me to hear clearly from God. And so I was able to pray, and I was able to seek wise counsel and get confirmation concerning what God said. And so you want to get confirmation concerning what God said. God, in the word, it says that God will confirm things through the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses. Like, you shouldn't be the only person that sees this person as your husband and everybody else is like, I'm sorry, like, I want to see this for you. I want to hear this for you. But there's literally nothing and no one in your life confirming it. Like, and it could even be a stranger. I'm not even saying that your friends and family will always understand everything happening in your life. They 100% will not. But God is going to find a way to confirm what he is saying to you. And so you need to make sure that you're allowing that to be confirmed, again, before you're going and saying anything, before you become fixated on a relationship with someone. Don't become fixated on a person or a relationship with someone that you don't even know. And that's really unfortunate. Sometimes people, again, they have dreams and they see people in their dreams and like, oh, I know he's gonna look like this and this. I can see him and he's kind of clear, but he's kind of blurry. And like, you know, first of all, if God gonna show you something, he gonna show it to you. Like, I'ma just put a pause right there. If he's gonna show it to you, he's gonna show it to you because he doesn't want you to be in confusion. So he's not gonna partially show you a face so that you can think you know the person when you see him, but you're not sure if you know the person when you see him. No, like, if God gonna show you something, he's gonna show you. God is not an author of confusion. And so that's that right there. If you having dreams but you only seeing partial faces and you kind of know but you don't know, like, I would definitely say, like, check and make sure that's a dream coming from God, not a vision coming from yourself. And if it is, there's nothing wrong with that. You're just knowing more and seeing more of what you desire, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you want to make sure, is this dream even coming from God? And if it's not clear, it might not be God. Like, God's not the author of confusion. But again, even with that, let's say you see this clear face, you see this person exactly, maybe it's somebody you know, maybe it's somebody you don't know. Either way, you do not want to allow yourself to become fixated on being with a particular person and you haven't even met them yet. You haven't even gotten into a relationship with them yet as a friend, much less as more than a friend. Like, you don't want to become fixated. So make sure you're allowing God to confirm and reaffirm what it is that he's saying to you, what it is you believe he's showing you, before you start getting emotionally attached to somebody you haven't even seen. Because I've seen people turn individuals down because they don't look like somebody they saw in a dream. And it's like, okay, well, they don't look like the person you saw in the dream, but you didn't even fully see the person that you saw in the dream. Like, it's not adding up. Like, the math isn't mathing. But anyways, I feel like I might be slightly digressing, but I also feel like that was really important to say. Make sure that you're aware of, like, where your dreams are coming from, and again, allow God to confirm and reaffirm what he's saying before you start to deep dive your feelings into an attachment with this individual that you're not in a friendship or relationship with. And lastly, I would say make sure that you exercise patience, because just because God told you today doesn't mean that person may be ready to get married today. Maybe you really did see exactly who God told you to marry. You know their name. You finally meet this person. You come across their path and they're not ready yet. They're not ready yet. That could really happen, and you can't force the situation. You should not force the situation. Allow there to be time, again, for God to say it to them, for God to confirm it and reaffirm it with them, just like he's going to confirm it and reaffirm it with you. Have patience. Do not try to rush a process. If both of you are willing to listen and hear from God concerning what he is saying, then it shouldn't take a long time. You know, I'm saying don't rush the process, and obviously met, engaged, married, all in 9 months. So I want to help you meet and marry the one sooner. Truth be told, I feel the path for me was easier because I did not have a dream about what Ricky looked like. I did not have a dream where I knew exactly his name. I didn't have any of this information. And so it allowed me to be more open, and I feel like it allowed our process just to even go so seamless and smooth that when we met each other, it was like that. God spoke to me, he spoke to him, and we were able to move quickly versus this longing I had to try to meet a particular person, and then maybe I would have been avoiding certain situations and settings and events and different things, thinking, oh no, I'm probably not gonna meet him there, so I'm not even gonna go. Oh, I only see these types of men over there, so I'm not even gonna walk over by that group, not knowing my husband is actually behind the group, but I can't get to him because I don't even want to walk in that direction because I don't see what I feel like I saw in my dream. Like, it can get real complicated. And again, the way you uncomplicate it, if you truly believe God has already given you this information, is know God is showing you an option. And just like he showed you this option, you can make sure that and be rest assured that God can show you another option. And again, this is just because, for example, say God shows you someone, that person decides, you know what, I don't feel like listening to whatever God's saying to me, even though you're willing to be obedient. Maybe this person says, I don't want to be obedient to God, I'm never going to get married. Do you think God is going to make you be single forever because this person is choosing not to listen to the voice of God? No, he's not. Why would God do that to you? Like, that's not your problem. So that would mean he would need to show you another option. And so you have to see it that way. There's still free will at play. There's still free will in the mix. And that's one of the ways that you uncomplicate and unconvolute the whole knowing or being told and being shown, like I said, what I would say is an option. So I really hope this video was helpful. Like I said, I'll make sure I do another video that is dedicated to helping you understand the one thing. Like, I feel like it's really a thing, and so I want to help you guys with that. So I'll make sure I do a separate video on that. But again, make sure that you hit that subscribe button, like this video, share this video if you feel like it will be helpful with anyone, and until next time.